Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, I wanted to ask that I hope till class diagram things are clear. Is there any doubt? You can ask. You can spend 5 minutes in class diagram. Please let me know if you have a doubt. If you don't have a doubt, please type that there is no doubt. Give some response. Okay, right. So, Tanisha, I already took an example, no? One more example. I can do something like I can send you questions and the class diagram related to that. So you can check that, and then if you have a doubt, then we can discuss, right? Because then it will take 2 more hours in order to complete one class diagram. Okay, so just sharing my screen. What we'll do is that we'll finish the leftover part of class modeling. So in class model, we have two things, right? One is class diagram and another is CRC index cards. So now let us understand what is CRC index cards. CRC stands for basically class responsibility collaborator, right? What we do here is that we create index cards for this. So basically we create index cards, right? So it's called CRC index cards. Now, how do we create CRC index cards? So I'll directly jump to an example so that it is easier for you to understand. A CRC index card looks like this. Okay, so it has three sections. One is the name of the class. So what is the name of the class? So here, let's say floor plan is the name of the class. Then you have something called description. So you can write a 2 line, 3 line description what this particular class is doing, right? Uh, the thing that is important is these two parts. What is responsibility? What is collaborator? Now, please understand that whenever you are making a class diagram, like we have already discussed last time when we were making a class diagram, it has a section called methods, right? So supposingly this was my class diagram. So all these things basically, this that we had written over here, which is your methods, basically these methods are nothing but the responsibilities. Okay, so responsibility of a class. What is the responsibility of the class? What task it is doing, right? So when you come over here, whenever you are supposed to create a CRC index card for a class, what you do is that you need to write the responsibilities. Now, when we are writing it in a class diagram, we write it by the name of the method, right? हम लोग method का नाम लिखते हैं, method का we give the notation of the method. But when you are writing it inside the CRC index cards, you need to write it in a simple English language, right? What that particular method is going to do, right? So that thing you need to write. So seeing over here, I can find out that this particular floor plan has 1, 2, 3. So this is the same one. You can skip this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 5 responsibilities, right? So let's see that. Suppose this is the class diagram. Okay, simple class diagram. So if you can see here, how many classes are here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 classes are here. Now, when I say that I have 6 classes, that means I need to create 6 CRC index cards. So for every class, there should be one CRC index card, right? Now, every CRC index card will have responsibilities and collaborators, Now, supposingly you see over here, what I will do is that when I will create the CRC index card for floor plan, let's say I am making for floor plan. So floor plan, and then there will be two sections. One is responsibility. So I'm just writing it in short form. Another is collaborator, right? So responsibility will be the methods. Don't write the method names as it is. I'm telling you, don't do that. I will not accept it. You need to give a description of every method. So how many methods would be, how many sections would be here? One, two, 3 and 4. 4 methods, right? 4 methods ka description in simple English language. And then in the front, in the collaboration section, what you have to do is that, see, when you are making a class diagram, each class is connected to another class, right? It may be possible that in order to do this particular task, which is determinant type, it is taking the, it is dependent on, let's say, camera, or it is dependent on wall. तो आपको क्या करना है? You need to write that response collaborator in front of the particular responsibility. So जैसे अगर हम लोग वापस से यहाँ जाते हैं, can you see that in front of this there is no collaborator? Means what does it mean? अगर define floor plan name and type, there is no collaborator, means what is the meaning of that? Can somebody tell me what is the meaning? If there is nothing written in front of the method responsibility, it means that what? This particular method is done by floor plan itself. Means it's not collaborating with any other class for doing this task. Same goes over here. So इसके आगे भी कुछ नहीं लिखा है. Means it is a independent, yeah, Devansh, it is an independent method which is whose implementation is done inside the floor plan class itself, right? Also a method in front of which no collaborator is written. Now when you come over here, this method that is incorporate wall, door and windows. So this particular method requires some kind of implementation or some value. I mean, it is dependent on the class which is wall. And then when it comes over here, this particular is dependent on the class called camera. Now you need to see, now check that in collaborator floor plan class, there are two collaborators, means it should be associated with two collaborators. Means when you go over here, you need to see that yes, there are two associations. Floor plan is associated with camera, floor plan is associated with wall. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The meaning of CRC index cards. Don't do something like this. ऐसे आप नहीं कर सकते हो. That आपने suppose एक बनाया, ठीक है, floor plan का ही. Let me take an example of floor plan itself. So I created for floor plan. I wrote for floor plan, and then when I come over here in responsibility section, and this is collaboration section, suppose I have 5 methods. Now if you write all 5 methods over here, let's say A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, now by the diagram it shows that wall and camera are associated with the floor plan class. If you write wall over here and camera over here thinking that कि हमें तो सिर्फ collaborators ही डालने हैं, तो then this will go wrong. It will imply that for A1 method it is going to wall class, A2 method implementation it is going to camera class. Even though wall and camera should be written over here, right? Its actual meaning is here. But because your CRC index card is wrong, so that is why, you have kept it in the starting. That's why the whole implementation goes wrong. Okay, so you need to write the collaborator in front of the responsibility properly, and also check that if there are two collaborators which you have written over here, there should be two associations with the class floor plan over here, and same class should be there. Not like you have the camera is present over here and you write something, some XYZ class over here, it goes wrong. ओके आपने कैमरा के साथ इसको एसोसिएट किया है. अभी अगर मैं विंडो डाल दूं यहाँ पर, if I'll write window over here, then it will go wrong because there is no association between floor plan and window in the class diagram. Please tell me that you understood this. Guys, please let me know. Yes? This means the wall contributes to the program. Yes, Janal. Yes, that's true. In order to do that particular task, which task? Let's say incorporate walls, doors, and windows. The floor plan is getting associated with wall class. Means either it is calling some method of wall class or it is taking some value from the wall class. Whatever it is, that is not shown over here, right? We are not showing that part here, that which value is getting passed or what method is getting called. That we are not showing over here, right? For this particular method, it is going inside the wall class. That much is shown by means of CRC index cards. Okay, and then now opposite should also be true. When you are going to the wall class, जब आप wall class का बनाओगे, ठीक है, आपने wall class का बनाया, तो it should be associated with floor plan class. ठीक है, opposite should also be true. Wall के साथ कौन कौन से classes associated है? Wall के साथ only wall के साथ 4 classes are associated. All these 4 classes should be present in the CRC index card of wall. So opposite should also be true, right? So that's how you need to create CRC index card. It should be in a synchronized manner. Consistency होनी चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि यहाँ पे डाला वहाँ उसके CRC index card से निकाल दिया, वहाँ पे कोई extra information दे दी, यहाँ से information delete कर दी. No, everything should be consistent with the class diagram. Please tell me that you understood this CRC index cards. Right? Shall I go further? Shall I go further? Okay, great. Now, object diagram is not required. Skip object diagram. And if there are more, so you can put comma. Who is asking? Janil. Janil put question. You can put a comma. You can write like, अगर आपको लगता है कि एक ही रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के लिए 2 क्लासेस की जरूरत है, you can write wall comma camera. I'm just giving example. You can do this as well. That's not an issue. Okay, great. Now, object diagram, see, it is very simple. Like you have created class diagram. What you do is that it's not a very compulsory diagram. What it shows is that what are the name of the objects. So, if let's say this is a simple class which is shown over here. So, what is this? This is self aggregation. Na? One class is dependent on its own. So I'll say that how will you read this? So a department is basically a sub-department of another department. Like let's say you have CSE department, okay? So CSE department के अंदर suppose CE department and IT department and MCA, like that. So that is the meaning over here. So one department, CSE is a department and other departments are sub-department of one department, like that, okay? So that is how you show this. So I'll read it like that because the role is given like that. Now what you do when you have to create object diagram is, you just give a, हम कैसे objects बनाते हैं? How do you create objects in Java? How do you create objects in Java? Suppose I have a class called student. Something is written inside it. How do you create object? New keyword, right? So you will write student. Let's say I wrote S1. S1 is equals to new student. So what is this S1 over here? This is your object. I hope you all remember. So what you are doing over here, you are giving the instance name. So of course this is object and it is of course the name of the instance name as well, right? Object is the instance of the class. So instant name, they both are same, object and instance name. So what you do over here, so department करके एक class है, उसके सामने colon करके this would be the name of the object now. So it would be something like this, department, and what is the name of the department? MathStat is equals to new department. It should look like this when you are actually coding it. Like I'm coding it in Java. So जब आप Java में code करोगे तो ये ऐसे दिखेगा. So that's why MathStat and then colon the department, the actual class, and then you give the value. So here there is one variable which is degree. So what you will do, it is a string. So what do? You give the value for that degree. See, object colon class attribute is equals to value. So what is the attribute over here? Degree. What is the value? Let's say there is some value which should be given in the code called both. Okay. Now what you do? You show associations. Why? Because one department is associated with other departments. So आपने क्या किया? Now this is what? This is a sub department. This is a sub department. This is also a sub department. Okay, so you showed statistics. The another department is statistics. Another department is math. So it's like this only. C and IT are part of CSE department. So math, statistics and math are part of MathStat department. Then applied math and it's two values are given. Two objects are taken, but you can see that the attribute value is changing. So you should give different value over here. Don't give the same value. It's a different value. Different objects, right? So they both are part of math department, like that. So object diagram basically shows, an object diagram shows this relation between the instantiated class and the defined class and the relation between the objects. So आपने जो भी class diagram बनाया है, what you do is that now what you and now what how you are going to define this, how you are going to define this is with respect to multiplicity. So if you can see, you have one is here, and if you can see here there are 0 or more. तो अगर सपोजिंगली मैंने यहाँ पे 2 ही लिखा होता, लेट्स से मैंने यहाँ पे 2 लिखा होता, तो क्या होता फिर? Please tell me, if I would have written 2 over here, then what should be my object diagram? I get a response. 2 लिखा होता तो yes. So Devansh is right. So 2 sub departments and 1 main department, right? Because you have given multiplicity as 2. So that means दो ही object बनेंगे. उसका मतलब तो यही होता है ना? Multiplicity का मतलब यही होता है ना? In how many ways one class is associated with other class? That means in how many times you are calling the object. So 2 means 2 relations would be there, 2 objects would be there connected with one main department. So वो multiplicity के हिसाब से you need to create the object diagram, right? If we go for another example, which is inheritance. So if you can see, this is a super class and then you have 2 subclasses, right? So what you are doing, customer is there. Now just see, one customer, you see here, one customer is associated with 0 or more orders. So what is done over here? There is only one class called customer, one object is there, and 0 or more means हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है, ठीक है? So 0 or more में यहाँ पे क्या choose किया? 3 objects. So 3 objects are here, O1, O2 and O3. Right? Now O1 is associated with again it has two subclasses, normal order or special order. So either you can put a normal order or you can put a special order. ठीक है, अगर यहाँ पर कोई एक जगह पे आप नॉर्मल ऑर्डर भी कर दोगे तो देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन दैट, बट सारे यहाँ पे स्पेशल ऑर्डर ही किए. दिस इज एग्जांपल्स ऑफ बुक्स सो आई कैन चेंज देम. But if you would have put a normal order over here, it will not go wrong because order class के दो subclasses है, normal order and special order. So you need to write in that order, that on the basis of the multiplicity. So object diagram में which thing will matter more? The multiplicity, because that's how you create the objects, on the basis of multiplicity, right? So this is fine. These are some other examples you can check later on. Now, is there any doubt now? Please ask about object modeling. So I have completed 3 scenario based. I have completed. Then next was ER diagram का कौन सा था model? It was data model, and now the this one is class model. So these 3 I have completed. Scenario में you had activity diagram. Then scenario में you had so you had use case diagram, activity diagram, and simulate diagram, right? Data model you had ER diagram, class model you had class diagram, CRC index cards, and object diagram, right? Now we'll jump to the next model, which is flow model. Please tell me, did you understand this much? Guys, any doubt till here? Okay. Now see, जब भी आप software engineering, if you talk about software engineering, there were 2 types of actually software engineering. SE is basically of 2 types. One is a conventional software engineering approach, and another is object oriented approach. ठीक है, जो conventional software engineering approach है, in that we used to use DFDs. DFD stand for data flow diagram. जो object oriented approach है, उसमें we use UML diagrams. So actually DFD is not a part of object oriented approach. DFD is a part of conventional software engineering which was used previously. Right? The moment object-oriented programming languages come and object-oriented approaches come, then we use only UML diagrams, and we represent flow in a different order, which I'll tell you next. But you should also know about DFDs because many of the organizations still use DFDs. So that is why I'm going to teach you how to create a DFD, right? But please remember that DFD is not a part of UML language, UML diagrams. UML diagrams में बाकी अभी तक हमने जितने भी पढ़े हैं, they all are part of UML diagrams. ER also is not a part of UML diagram. ER also is a conventional approach, right? But other than that, use case, activity, all these are basically UML diagrams. If you go and search UML diagrams list, you will get a lot of names of diagrams. I'm just showing you, out of which we are studying very few. See, these all are UML diagrams. Class diagram, object diagram, component diagram, deployment diagram, interaction diagram, use case diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, state machine diagram, activity diagram, timing diagram. These all are UML diagrams. Okay. So DFD and ER is not a part of UML diagram. They are conventional approaches, but we need to know about conventional approaches as well, right? That's why we'll learn now how to create a DFD. See, it's written, it is an old school approach, DFD. So why old school? Because it was a part of conventional software engineering, not a part of object-oriented software engineering. Is it clear, all of you? General, many organizations do use DFD. That is why I'm going to teach you. Because if you'll see something like a DFD diagram, like something like this, you should know what it is. So it is a DFD, right? So many organizations still use DFD to show their flow. So you should know what is a DFD. Okay. Now, when you come to DFD, let me write DFDs. When you come to DFDs, it goes in a order. The first diagram is called a context diagram in DFD. So it is a context diagram, or there is another name which is DFD level 0. Then comes second one, that is DFD 11 level 1. Then DFD level 2, and you know it can go to level 3, level 4, level 5, but generally we make till level 2. Till level 2 it is compulsory. If I am asking you to make a DFD diagram, you have to create till level 2. But how the levels are dependent, how do you decide the number of levels, that I'll tell you right now. But these are the levels of creating a DFD diagram. Okay. Now when you come to DFD, so you need to follow some uh, notations. What are the notations? So these are the notations. Square basically belongs to an external entity. Circle belongs to a process. Data flow is shown by means of arrows, right? Up arrow, down arrow, left, right. So this is data flow. And data store. What is data store? Data store is nothing but table. जो आपने ER डायग्राम में बनाए थे ना tables, entities, right? Entities, the same thing is data store over here. Okay, now let's just directly jump into how a context level diagram looks like. So this is one context level diagram. The system is safe home system. जितने भी examples हमने देखे थे वो सब safe home के थे. Now when you are making a context level diagram, which is a level 0 DFD, right? In level 0 DFD, what do you show? You show your overall system. So in level 0, which is the first diagram, what happens is your entire system is one process. Let's say I'm creating for library management. So what I will do, I'll write library management system in the center. So what is this? This is my process basically. है ना, जो सर्कल है वो तो प्रोसेस है, ठीक है. अभी जब आप कंटेक्स्ट लेवल डायग्राम बना रहे हो, which is DFD level 0, you are more concentrated on the inputs and outputs. When I say inputs and outputs, means which all users or external systems, external entities, they are involved in the input and output. And in the center it would be LBS, LMS, that is library management system. Okay, so what I will do, this side, which is the left side would be always the inputs. Left side would always be the inputs, and my right side will be always the outputs. Okay, right side will always be a outputs. Okay, so what I will do, I will put my inputs to library. What this diagram basically shows is, I'll give inputs to library management system. Who will give inputs? Let's say a student is there, student will give input, and let's say faculty will give input. So seeing the diagram, you understand that, okay, student is a user who is giving some input to the library management system. What is the output? That all outputs will be shown over here. Now these outputs can be reports. Outputs can be reports, right? It can be any external entity also. External entity also. कहाँ जा रहा है आपका output? That should be shown, that what is the output that you are getting out of the system. So that is shown by means of DFD level 0. So if I go and check over here, if I read this particular context level diagram, so I'll say that for what I am making the software, I'm making the software for Safe Home. So this is the name of my project, Safe Home software. Who is giving input? Control panel is giving input and sensors are giving inputs. What inputs they are giving? So that you can write in the arrow. On the arrow you can write control panel is giving user commands and data. Sensors are giving sensor status. Right? Some XYZ task would be done by this Safe Home software. Right? Safe Home software is going to do some kind of task, and it is going to display 3 outputs to whom. So display information is given to control panel display, alarm type is given to the alarm entity, alarm entity, external entity, and telephone line is one more external entity, so telephone number tones are given to it, right? I'll just search some of this CF context level diagram online. Just a minute so that I can show you the diagram. Just a minute. Okay, see this one. So this is the context level diagram for library management system. See, I'm not saying all the diagrams are correct. I'm just showing you a simple example. So context level diagram for library management system. As you can see, library management system is in the center, right? The right side will be, left side will be all the users. So let's say that there are 2 users, student and library staff. Can you see what input is given? That all is shown by means of the arrows. जैसे यहाँ पे show कर रहे थे आप. This arrow was showing user commands and data. Same thing over here. So here student is going to reserve a book and student is going to search a book. Where it is going to do that? On LMS software, right? Same goes over here. Library staff is going to issue a book, return the book, authentication, add delete info, and maintain reader info. These all are the inputs which are basically, it's like task, no? These all are the task which is done by the library staff on whom the LMS, right? Now it is giving 4 types of output. One is in the form of reports, one is in the form of display, one is in the form of file systems. Now please don't ask what is file system. So it is up to them what the person who has made the diagram has written. One is in the form of books. I just want to show that it should be a output. Like I said, reports are output, displays are output, right? And what should be displayed, that you have to write over here. What should be your output, that you have to write in the output arrow. Okay, so if you keep on searching, you will get lot of, like this is one context level diagram for bank. Let's just see. So see, so in bank, you are having supposingly sales agent is one of the user. He is giving an input money transfer. You are getting output. Now you can check over here, ये दोनों कर रहे हैं, input and output both. So ऐसा मत करना कि यहाँ पे भी स्टूडेंट बना दिया, यहाँ पे भी स्टूडेंट बनाया. नो, यू कैन डू समथिंग लाइक दिस ऑल्सो, इट्स फाइन. यू कैन डू लाइक ये इनपुट वाला सेक्शन हो गया, और ऐसे ही आप आउटपुट सेक्शन भी बना सकते हो अगर एक ही यूजर इनपुट एंड आउटपुट दोनों कर रहा है तो. ठीक है, डोंट मेक एम्बिगुअस यूजर. सो इनपुट के सेक्शन में आपने स्टूडेंट बना दिया, यहाँ पे आउटपुट में भी स्टूडेंट बनाया. डोंट डू दैट. इफ स्टूडेंट इज डूइंग बोथ इनपुट एंड आउटपुट, यू कैन मेक 2 एरोज. यहाँ पे इनपुट वाला डेटा लिख दो और यहाँ पे आउटपुट वाला, बट just check the arrows, right? So that is the meaning of context level diagram. Please tell me that did you understand what is context level diagram? Please let me know what is context level diagram. You know your system, you know who is giving input, who you know who is getting the output. So just represent them in the form of a diagram. That's it. Okay, chalo. Let's come to now. This is DFD level 0. Now, when you are doing DFD level 1, what you will do in DFD level 1 is, in DFD level 1, you will, जैसे हम process को represent करते हैं, this is my process, right? Right now, because I am in context level diagram, my process is an entire system. I want to just show the inflow of input and output. That's why the process is an entire system. But when I go to DFD level 1, what will happen? What would be my processes? In DFD level 1, my processes would be basically the functions which are done by the system or the software. So, safe home system, like library management system, or if I go with the example, safe home software, what are the different functions? What are the different processes which are done by safe home software? So, if I see this diagram, how many processes are there? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right? 6 main processes are shown in DFD level 1. Right? 6 main processes are shown in DFD level 1. Now see how you need to maintain consistency. So if in context level diagram, 2 things are giving the input, which is control panel and sensor, here also 2 things should be giving the input. So if you can see, the input side are given by control panel is giving it to the this particular process, and sensor is giving to this particular process. But finally, who are giving the inputs? This is input 1 and this is input 2. So it should match. It should match with the context level diagram. And output should be matched. So how many outputs are here? 1, 2, and 3. See over here, 3 outputs would be there finally. So output, output, and output. Right? कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? That doesn't matter. That is up to you. कि किस प्रोसेस से आपको आउटपुट निकालना है. बट यहाँ पे अभी ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि अचानक से कोई एक और आउटपुट आ गया, या अचानक से कोई एक और इनपुट चला गया, या कुछ डिलीट कर दिया आपने, एडिट कर दिया. डोंट डू दैट. इट शुड बी consistent with your context level diagram. Okay, now in between what is happening, that it is well understood. Control panel is giving user commands and data. It is going to interact with the user, and after interacting with the user, what process is going to take place? So यहाँ से input जाएगा configure request, यहाँ से input जाएगा start stop, यहाँ से input जाएगा password. Password is when password is given as an input to this process, which is process password, what is going to happen? Valid message, invalid message, उस हिसाब से display करेगा, and so on. What is this? This is the table, your database. So it's not required that every time you want to store the data, a process which is storing the data, so go put it inside the data store. So data store is basically double lines, and in between that you write the name of the table, whatever a table is there. Suppose student data hai, so you put student table. That is, of course, it is the representation of a programmer, right? Where to put the tables. Wherever you want to store the data, put tables inside it, so that you know that, okay, configure system, configuration data is getting stored inside a table called configuration information. एंड ऑफ कोर्स दीज टू शुड बी सेम ना, ये कोई आपने प्रोसेस नहीं किया है कि आपने इनपुट दिया और फिर अलग आउटपुट निकाल रहे हो, ये आपने सिर्फ एक डेटाबेस टेबल बताया है दैट configuration data is getting stored inside this table and of same configuration data is coming outside. Why? Because it is still an input. This is still an input to which process? This process. तो यहाँ से change नहीं करना है आपको. It is just coming inside a data store in order to store the data. That's what you are showing. The flow of your system. Data flow diagram means what? What flow is taking place? What data is going from one place to another? Which process is taking the data? Which process is outputting the data? That is shown by means of data flow diagram. Now, in the book, the representation is not written. Actually, how you should write it? Actually, you should give this, because it is DFD level 1, you should give this as 1.1, this is 1.2, this is 1.3, let's say this is 1.4, this is 1.5 and this is 1.6. ऐसे देना चाहिए, ठीक है, 1 2 3 4 नहीं देना है आपको. तो ये 1.1 का मतलब क्या है? This first one represents the level, so it is level 1, right? And which process? First process. Right? Level 1, first process. Is it understood? Now, when you will go to level 2, this is DFD level 2. Now, can you tell me that, ma'am, is the numbering connected anyway? No, 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 Janet, it's not connected. It's not connected. You can give numbers randomly. Okay. Now, when you come over here, this is level 2. Abhi, can you tell me that this level 2 is made for which process? लेवल 2 का मतलब क्या है? जैसे आपने यहाँ पे लेवल 1 में सेफ होम सॉफ्टवेयर के डिफरेंट प्रोसेसेस दिखाए थे, वैसे ही लेवल 2 में अब क्या होगा? एक सिंगल प्रोसेस के और एग्जीक्यूशंस दिखाओगे आप. कैन यू टेल मी दिस level 2 is made for which process? Monitor sensors. Monitor sensors. Okay, let us go to monitor sensors. So it is coming over here. So monitor sensor is here, right? Now it is getting data, that is sensors. एक configuration का value आ रहा है और 3 output जा रहे हैं बाहर. So is it happening over here? Configuration की value आ रही है, that is true. Sensor status आ रहा है, that is true. And 3 outputs are going outside. Now how will you give numbering to this? So what was the number over here? 1.5. So how will you give? No. You need to write like this. 1.5.1, 1.5.2, 1.5.3, 1.5.4, 1.5.5. So what does this mean? 2 points means 2 levels are there. This means it is second level DFD. और किसका आपने बनाया है? फिफ्थ वाले का. What was the fifth one in level DFD level 0? DFD level 1, monitor sensors. So this is basically DFD level level 2 DFD for 1.5, which is monitor sensors. And again the consistency should be there. Means monitor sensor को जिसने भी input दिया और उसने जिसको भी output provide किया, वो सब यहाँ पे होना चाहिए, but now in a more detailed manner, because you are showing the entire flow, all the processes, all the flow which is happening inside monitor sensors. Now, I'm not saying that for every single process you need to create DFD level 2. It's not required. If a process has more, more implementation, more data flow, more processes which are happening inside it, then you can create DFD level 2 for that. If you जैसे यहाँ पर सिर्फ monitor sensors का बनाया DFD level 2 और किसी का नहीं बनाया है, ठीक है, तो then it is fine. It's not required. Did you understand how to create DFD levels? I can send you some examples. Just check them because the time is over. So you can just check the examples, and then tomorrow when we have class, we can discuss if you have any doubts. Okay. Partial CT, just like give me 2 more days, then I'll check, give it to you. Okay. Right. So now I'm ending the session. You can go for your next class. We can discuss doubts tomorrow.